All right, welcome back. So today, day 12, we'll be building our predictive analytics. Okay, our AI will be predicting our future spending and stuff like that. So in day 11, that is yesterday. But before I even continue, if this is your first time of joining this playlist, you should go to day one, go to the playlist. I will drop the link in the description. Go to the playlist and start from day one. Okay. So in day 11, we analyze user spending using AI Insight. And again, I also wanted to comment in the comment section. Tell me what your level of experience in web development is. Are you a beginner? Are you intermediate or are you experienced? Okay. Have you built an app like this before? Have you built any portfolio project before? And if you have, please drop it in the comment section. Okay. So we analyze user spending using AI Insights. All right, so we analyze user spending. So today we'll move on a step further. We'll build predictive analytics that forecast a user's financial future. In day 11, we talked about their health score, their expenses, and blah, blah, blah that we did there. So here we're actually going to forecast. We are forecasting. So by the end of this video, your fintech app that we have started would predict next month expenses. It will forecast future account balance. Do you understand? Based on the person's transactions and their balance, the history of their transaction, it will forecast their account balance. It will dictate spending trends. All right. And then it will show their financial outlook. So we are also going to be adding a forecast section on our dashboard. So now, instead of analyzing the past spending that we did before, we are now going to answer if the user continues spending like this, what happens next month? So we are going to forecast the user's um, financial status next month, next 2 months, next 3 months. That's what we are going to be doing in today's class. So we get the transactions from the Prisma. We analyze the trends of the person's spending. We give it to forecast engine. The forecast engine will forecast, AI will forecast it and then give it to our dashboard. So now, first of all, we do not have the forecast model in our Prisma file. We don't have the forecast model. And the reason why we're actually doing this forecast is because we don't want users to always, whenever they ask for this forecast data, we will be generating it all over and all over again. So we could generate the first time, maybe once a day, all right, we'll generate a forecast and then store it in the database. So whenever they ask for it again, maybe they refresh their page or they visit the page again and again over and during the day, it will give them the message that we have stored in the database. But once it is more than a day, we'll generate a new forecast for them. So now this is what our forecast model looks like. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and then I'll go to Prisma. I have it here already. All right, I already have it here. But what you will do is this: if you just entered your own, make sure you run um, inside of backend, make sure you run MPS Prisma DB push or MPS Prisma generate. I like to use DB push, MPS Prisma DB push so that it will push it to database and also generate the Prisma client for me. So now, but first thing first, I would create a Git branch, Git switch C, and then I want to create day 12. Okay. All right. So I am now on day 12, my Git branch. Okay. So now I make sure you have this on your own already. Then go to your do CD backend, go to your backend folder, and then run Prisma DB push or Prisma MPS Prisma DB push or MPS Prisma generate. Okay. So we are going to talk more about the differences between the two. All right, when we learn about Prisma, and I already told you in our mentorship program, we'll be learning this. And if you're interested in the mentorship program, okay, drop in the comment section, drop your WhatsApp number, and I will contact you. If you really want to learn this and learn it very well, it's a 6 months mentorship program. We'll be building three applications. This fintech application, we'll be building WhatsApp clone application, and we also build real estate and escrow system application. Okay, and we'll be learning everything, all the tech, all the languages, everything that we need to build such application and build a strong portfolio. Okay, so now since I have this already, just you can pause the video and just type this, create your model. Okay, so All right. So the next thing is to create our forecast generator, the logic, the code that would actually forecast this for us. So let us go and create this. So go to your service folder, create a forecast.generator.ts, and this is part of the file code. So let me go to my, okay, so I will then, okay. Okay, so I would go to my, this is in my backend. I'll go to source, I will come to services, and inside of services, I'm going to create a file called forecasts, forecast.generator, forecast.generator dot, it's like dot .ts. Okay, forecast.generator.ts. So now, let's type the code. So the first thing I start with, you already know I don't start with my import. I start with exports, constant, and generate generate forecast, and it's going to be an asynchronous function, an async function that would take the user ID. It will take the user ID as a parameter. And then if you don't know asynchronous functions and functions itself, that's the most reason you have to enroll into our mentorship program. You will learn all these things. So it's going to be an arrow function. Okay. It's going to be an arrow function. And then I'm going to first thing, of course, I have to put it in try catch. Okay. I have to put it in try catch. So, but because of it's just for tutorial reasons, sometimes I don't even bother. Okay, so error is of type any. So what I'm doing right now is this type thing is coming from TypeScript. Okay, so error, for now, I can just console.log the error. So that's the much I can do here. So then I want to read from my database. I want to read the user's transactions. I want to read the user's transactions. So I'll say await Prisma. Okay. And if you don't know Prisma, like I said, we teach Prisma in our mentorship program. So Prisma.transaction. Okay. Dot find. Are we finding? Okay, we are getting all the transactions of this user. So we are finding many. Okay, we are finding many. And so our where clauses, we are finding where the user ID is this. Okay. So, and we want to order them by created, and it's going to be ascending order. Ascending order. Okay. Ascending or descending, which one? It doesn't even matter. The order doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. We just want to fetch all the orders. The order doesn't really matter. We can take it out. There's no need for the order. There's no need. Okay. So once we have gotten our transactions, let's see. So if the transaction length is so what we are trying to do here is that we want to say, okay, so we have gotten the transaction, but if this user does not haven't have any transactions so far, so we'll say transactions.length. Okay, this is senior advanced JavaScript I'm doing here. We want to throw an error, or we don't even need to throw an error. We can just return. There's no need to throw an error, but we can just return an empty array. Okay, because we can just return null. All right, we can just return null. Okay, so now then once we have gotten the transaction, let us group the transaction based on the months the transactions occurred. So you can have that You can have the comment there, but for me, this is just for tutorial purposes. I will have my monthly, and this monthly is actually a record. Now, this record is what we teach in TypeScript. TypeScript is one of the courses we would also be, one of the things you would also be learning in the mentorship program. So it's going to be an empty object. Okay, so this is record. The key is going to be a string and the value is going to be number. Okay, so now once we have done that, so let us look through the transactions for each. Okay, so the TS, and then I don't explain my codes here. This is the things you actually learn in the mentorship program. So we want to get months. So we are creating a date, but we are using the ts.created because this created at our transactions actually have a created at field. So we are getting it, and then we are creating, let me get this thing down. So we are, okay. So what are we doing here? Excuse me, I just want to adjust my editor so that I can actually see. Okay. All right, so we are getting the to ISO string, okay, and then we are getting a slice of it. We are starting from the first index and we are stopping at the seventh index. That means it will give us from 0 to 6. Like I said, these are the things we teach in the mentorship program. This is part of JavaScript. These are the things you learn about JavaScript, string manipulation. Okay. So now we have gotten the month. Now we already have this monthly. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake here. This is monthly. So we already have this record. Now let us go and fill in this record. So we are going to look for monthly of months. Okay. Now this month is the key of this record. And then I will say is equal to. So we will put this inside of parentheses, and we want to get the monthly of months. That's the key of this. And in case it is null or undefined, we want to return 0. So after that, we are adding ts.amount. Like I said, if you don't understand what I'm doing, just copy the code along. All right. This is the thing. These are the things we teach in our mentorship program. So after we have done this, so we have looked through all the transactions, and we have added each one of them. We have created this record and we have added. So here we are, this is the key because this is the mode. So this could be uh, January, whatever date it is, and it will not be the key of this record. And then the value of this key will not be what we got here. But like I said, I am not explaining things there, but just make sure, look at my code is working. There is no error whatsoever because we are using TypeScript. That's very good. So now um, I will create these variable values, and then this value is going to be uh, object.value. So I'm going to get all the values of this our record. Like I said, I'm just so sorry that I'm not explaining my code. This is not where we explain code. We are just building project. Okay, so we already by for you to understand this is actually a project we are building for our students who enrolled into our mentorship program. All right, so most of them already understand what we are doing here. So we have a record, and then with this object.values, it's going to extract just the values, not the keys. It will extract the values. Okay, so once we get it, let us see what we have in the next. Okay, so now the next lines of code are what we have here. So I think I would bring this down a bit. So now once I have the values, I'll create another variable here called average. So we want to get the average. So we say value dot reduce. The reduce method is what we also teach in JavaScript arrays. So the reduce method will take this function A and B, and then it's an arrow function. So it's just going to return A plus B, all right? And then the initial value is 0, okay? So this will give us the average, but now we are going to divide it by the values.length. I do not explain my logic here. I don't explain my logic here. So now we have our average. So let's create a variable for last month. So let's get the last month. Last month is equal to, so we already have the values of our record. So we want to get the last index. I could actually do -1. Do you understand? I can say values bracket like this -1, or to make it more readable, not everybody would understand what I just did. If I want to get the last value of an array, the last item in an array, I can use the -1 as the index. Okay, or I can also just say values. There's no need. Let's go. Let's do -1. This will give us the last index. Okay, okay, but all right, you can try it out, but for some people who might not really get it, value.length. So the length -1 will give us the last index. That's basically what we have done here. That's what we have done here. Okay. So now once we have that, so let's create our growth rate. There's a lot of things we could actually do better with this our project, because it's not an enterprise project. We could be ignoring some certain things, but this is just for tutorial basis. Okay, so I am typecasting this last month because I want to do some arithmetic operation here. And then if it is null, if it is undefined or null, it could be an issue. So that is why I am typecasting it. So if you can take a look at the data type of this last month is null or undefined. So because I'm typecasting it to a number so that it doesn't become undefined. And if I don't typecast it with this number, this operation will not work. Let me just show you. If I take it out, this number out, look at it. TypeScript will give me an error. Look at it. Look at that error. It says length month is possibly undefined. So because of this, I can typecast it. I can do something like this. Uh, I can do something like this. I can put an exclamation mark at the end of it, but it's not beginners friendly or even for intermediate. So, but I can do this. All right. So don't worry. As you grow, you can do stuff like this. So now this has given me the growth average. Okay. Now, let us now predict their expenses, the next month expense. So I'll say predicted expense is equal to predicted expense is equal to average multiplied by growth rate. So this will give us the predicted expenses. Okay, so now let us now go and fetch the user's balance in their wallet. Remember, we have a wallet. So let's go and fetch the user's data. Await Prisma dot wallet. All right. So we just want to find first where user ID. So it will give us the first data or the first record that actually matches this where clause. So once we get the user's wallet, okay, once we get the wallet, we can get the current balance out of it. Okay. So, so you can see what we are doing here. We are actually um, getting some data that we are going to give our AI that will generate. So, say current balance is equal to, so we say wallet dot balance. This could be undefined. All right, that's why you see that question mark before the dot. It could be undefined. And then, so if it's undefined, sorry, if it's undefined, we are using this OR operator. All right. So if this is undefined, that means return 0. So this current balance would be, let me make it current balance. This current balance will either be this value, it will be either be this value, so, or this value. If this value is null or undefined, then 0 will be the value of the current value. Okay, so once we get that, so we can create predict balance. So let's predict this user's balance based on the information we already have. So current balance minus predicted expense. Do you understand? So we have predicted the expense the user could make in the future, and we know their balance. So the predicted balance will now be the current balance minus the predicted expense. Now let us get the trend. Let us get the trend. So the trend will now be growth rate. If growth rate is greater than 1, that means the current trend is increasing. Else, this is ternary operator. Okay, else it is stable. All right. All right. So you go up. Let's go up. So now let us now create data. We are going to give the chart, because we'll be having chart on the front end. So let us create the data, the chart data. Okay, the chart data. Chart data is equal to, it's going to be an array, and the first month is month. The month is now, and then the balance. The balance is current balance. Okay. Then we'll create another one. We could do more than 1 month. All right. But if you want more, you can do more. So the second one is next month. And the balance will be predicted balance. Okay. Then 2 months from now. Okay. And the balance would be predicted balance multiplied by 0.8. All right. So I think we are cool here. So now let us now return all this data. Okay. So that's the last thing we will do here. So, all right. I think I can. Now, the thing is this, you can actually pause this video and then type your code. So now after the chat data, what do I want to do? I want to now return this object. This object will be contain predicted expense. It will also contain predicted balance. It will contain spending trend. This spending trend is going to be trend that we got, and then we'll give it chart data. So this is what we are returning from this code. This is our generate forecast. This is the full code here. Take your time. Take your time. All right, take your time. And then make sure you have exactly what I have here. And you can say, I don't have any error. Okay, I don't have, if you have any error, make sure just go and check exactly you have, make sure you have exactly what I have here. Okay, so we have created our generate forecast. So the next thing is to create our controller. So let's go and create our controller, the controller that will handle the requests from our users. All right. So I will go to controller. I'll create forecast dot controller dot ts. Okay. So like you already know, I do not do imports. Okay. I just okay. So what I have here is that I have export const get forecast, and then it's an asynchronous function that is an arrow function. Okay, but this guy will take rec object that is coming from auth request of type auth request. Auth request. Why are you not giving me IntelliSense? Ah, okay. I have an error here. My async is not spelled correctly. All right. So you can see because I was not getting IntelliSense, that is why I know that there is a problem. So now you can see it has given me IntelliSense. Then the response is coming from, is going to be a response object from Express. Okay. So now inside of our function, what are we doing? So we will get the user ID from our rec object, rec.user ID. Oops. But we typecast it to be a string. Okay. And so once we have that, now the thing is this, remember we have the forecast module. So whenever we generate any forecast, we'll save it. And then once it is more than a day, we'll create a new one. But if it's still within the same day, we are not going to create a new one. So that is why we are first of all checking if we have an existing forecast. So I'll say existing forecast is equal to await Prisma dot forecast. Okay, so it's like yeah, I don't have Prisma yet. I'll import it. Prisma dot forecast dot find. So we are doing dot find first. Find first where user ID where user ID is this, and then we will order by. Does it even really matter? We don't even need this order because we are pulling one. There's no need for this order by. We are pulling only one record. There's no need for the order by. Sorry about that. Okay, there's no need for the order by. We are pulling only one record. Because find first would only give us one record. It will not give us more than that. So we have our existing forecast. So if this existing forecast is not null, okay, first of all, let us check. Okay, if it is not null, okay, all right. So we are going to do everything at once. So we create a 1-day constant, and this 1-day constant is going to be 24 hours multiplied by 60 minutes multiplied by 60 seconds multiplied by 1,000. Now let me explain what we are doing here. Remember that in what we when it comes to coding, especially in JavaScript, the timing is in milliseconds. So how many milliseconds makes a minute? Is only 1,000 milliseconds that make a minute. So that means 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. Now 60 seconds make a a minute. So that's why we have 60 times 1,000. So 60 times 1,000 will give us 1 minute. Now 60 minutes make an hour. So that's why we have 60 times 1,000. Then 24 hours, 24 hours make a day. So that's why we have this logic here. Okay. Now, we're not saying if we don't have existing forecast and all right, and date.now minus new, let's create a new date and we'll give it new date, we'll give it, so this code now will make sure that we already have existing forecast before we can even ask for the created at. Okay, no, existing forecast created at. Okay, so we'll get the time, new, okay, so dot get time. So this will give us the time, and then whatever we get from there, we will now check if it is less than 1 day that we already have here. So let me make this thing make more sense. If this is true, then we'll come here. And then if this, let me put it in parentheses, if this whole thing, all right, if this whole thing, I think I will even have add another parenthesis. Hope I'm not confusing you. I am sorry if I'm doing that. So what we are doing, if this is not null, if this existing forecast, look at it, existing forecast could be null. Look at it, it could be null. So if it is not null, then we will, this AND operator will not come here. If this is null, this code will not, it will not get here. So once it gets here, we are checking this whole thing, if it is true or false. But inside of our parentheses, we are first of all doing this. So we get the value of this and then we'll not check it against 1 day. But if you don't understand it, all you have to do is just copy the code. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so once we have it, then we are going to return res.json. We'll return the existing, sorry, we'll return, we will return the existing forecast because there is no need creating a new forecast. But if this does not exist, if this does not make any sense, if it is not, if it's not true, then we will now go and create a new, we'll generate a new forecast and save it to the database. So that is what we are doing here. So far, let me just show you the full code. Okay, so far, this is the full code. So you can pause the video and type in your code. Make sure you have exactly what I have here before we continue. So now, before we continue, now, so in my code here, so I'm going to, if that is not true, so we are creating a new forecast and we await, so we generate forecast. We'll generate forecast, give it the user ID that we already have here. Okay, so we are good. Then once we have done that, we have to save it. So once we save it, it will return the saved data for us. So we say is equal to await Prisma dot forecast dot create, and then we are creating, so we'll give it the data and then sorry, come on. So the data is this. We'll pass in the saved. We'll pass in. We have forecast, right? How is it? We have the forecast. Okay. This is long code. All right, no problem. So we are going to give it the user ID. Then I am going, look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to pass the whole forecast to it. Okay, I believe we are missing something. Yes, we have chat data. We have, okay, spending trend. It's not. Yes, we have spending trend. We have. So let's see what it's complaining about. What are we not giving to it? Let's see. Um, okay, so I have predicted expense, user ID, predicted expense, focus on predicted expense, predicted balance, spending trend, and chart data. We should be good. Okay, I don't know. No, no, no. Okay. It says this is not assignable to predicted expense, but we have predicted expense now. All right, no problem. So our forecast created predicted expense, or is it not spelled predicted expense? Maybe it's not spelled the same way. All right, so now let us go and give it. I didn't want to write plenty code, that is why. So I can say, all right, predicted balance is coming from forecast dot predicted balance. Okay, no wonder. Yes, because forecast could be, yes, I know why it's giving me that error because it could be null. Forecast could be null. Okay, 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 okay. Um, yes, it's true. Forecast could be null. All right, no wahala. Let's continue with it. Let's continue with what we have here. So if it is null, I'm going to give it 0. Sorry, I'll give it balance of 0. Then predicted expense could also be null. So forecast dot predicted expense. And if it is null, I will give it 0. And then what else? Predicted trend. What else do we have? Chart data is forecast dot chart data, or it can't take null. This chart data is an array, so we'll give it an empty array. Our data is still missing something. User ID is unable to predicted balance, predicted expense, chart data is now unable to. Spending trend is missing. Okay. Okay, so spending trend, we also have to give it spending trend. Spending trend, okay. Focus dot spending trend. Okay, so and if it is this spending trend, is it string? Okay, so we'll just all right, my bad. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, and once we do that, we will now say res.json will now pass in the saved. This we could call this thing saved forecast so that it would even have saved forecast. That's what we are sending back. So look at everything is cool, everything marama. So this is the full, you can see we don't have any error. So this is our controller code. This is our controller code. All right, you can actually pause it and see everything you have here. Now, the next thing is for us to go and create our routes. So let's go and create routes. I'll go to route folder and I will create forecast dot route dot ts. So I would collapse this and so you already know how I do. I don't import. I'll do const forecast router is equal to router from Express. It has imported it for me. Forecast router dot get. So If get, then we are passing the auth middleware for validation, and I will get forecast. And once we have done that, we'll export default. All right, you can see that there is a pattern here. After creating our logic, we would now pass it to the controller, then pass the controller to the route, pass the route to the main app. So now the next thing is to go to, let's go and register it. So I will go to app.ts. I'll go to app.ts. Okay, okay, I already have it here registered. So it is registered here. So this is it. Now everything is cool. So before we go to the front end, let us go and test our code. Let's see if everything is working fine. So I would open a terminal. I'll open a terminal. No. I'll open the terminal from the back end here. I will right click and open in integrated terminal. So I have opened it in back end, but make sure that you're in the back end. So I will say npm run dev. So if it is running, then I will go to Prisma. Remember that this route is protected. So make sure that if you're passing, you make sure you have. So now this is the URL. Make sure that you have your authorization key, bearer token here. My own is here. So I'm going to send. I will resend. So it's like I have an error somewhere. Let's go and see. No, nothing is wrong. It's my postman, so I will just send again. So it's analyzing, and you can see, look at what it has given me. So it has predicted, my predicted expense is 51,533. My predicted balance will be 81,100. Then my spending trend is stable. All right, so my spending is okay. And this is my chart data. So this month, my balance will be 69,000. Next month, because of my spending predicted expense, 69,663 minus my spending, my predicted expense will be 18,100. And then based on my transactions, my month two will be around 14,000 days. Okay, so that is what we have here. So it is working fine. Now let's go to the front end. Okay, now you already know that I don't type in the front end code because it's too plenty, but I will give you my GitHub repo will be available, so you can just go there and copy it. And again, you might face some issues if you don't really follow this thing well. In the day 11, I forgot to tell you guys about, there is a store I created here. And this store, we are using it in the day 11. So in case, I don't know, in case you have that issue, just go and the store is available. If you try to use it, I think we were using it was it in the dashboard? Is it in the insight? Yes, we are using it here. This is where we are using it. Yes, this is where we are using it. So even if you try to do it, it would throw an error. So I believe if that happened, you could have reached out to me. All right. So, but I'm just bringing it to your notice. I forgot to mention it. Okay. So now let us now go and build our dashboard. So we are going to make this in the dashboard. So the first thing we do is that we are going to create, so let me bring it up. Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, so this is our forecast card. So I will copy it. I'll make it available for you. I'll go to our components. So I will create another component. I'll call it forecast card.tss. I'll paste the code here. Okay, so this is the code we have here. This is what we have here. Okay, then I will go and fetch the other one. And this is the chart. So the forecast chart. So I would also go into the component create, I'll call it um, forecast, good, forecast chart.css, and I'll paste this here. So this is what we have. So, but it's to be available for you. Then I will now go to the dashboard. I'll go to the dashboard page. All right. Um, I'll go to dashboard page. Then immediately after here, after the insight card, I would import forecast card. I would also import forecast charts. Okay. All right. So, but don't worry. Once you will have the code, okay? This is what, just watch what I'm updating. I created the forecast card. It will be available in the day 12 and even in the main branch. It will be available in the repo. So if I save, we have this. So now let's go and I think everything is cool. So let's go and see if everything works here. So I would go and the front end, I will open it in a new terminal and I'll say npm run dev. All fingers crossed. If everything works fine, that's good. So yes, it started in port 3000. So let's go to our browser. Okay, I already have it running here. So it is reloading already. Okay, this is 3001. So it is actually loading, and you see, we have it. Look at what we have now. We have it took some time to load. Maybe I should just, okay, let me do something. Let me just do something. In the forecast card, we should, if it is loading, I should just put some state. I should just do some state here. I will allow you to do that. Okay, let me do it. So I'll just put some loading state here. Loading, set, loading. All right, and is equal to, I will do this one and you do the other one. So it's going to be false. Initial value is going to be false. And as soon as we start this whole thing, I will set loading to be true. I'll set loading to be true. And then as soon as we are done, is okay. All right. As soon as we are done, I'm not using try catch. I'm supposed to use try catch. All right, but like I said, just for tutorial purposes. So once I am done, I have fetched the data, I will take it back to loading. So if not forecast or okay, so loading, if loading, let me just use if loading, I'll save and I will go back to the browser. So, oh, we have an error. We have an error. Oh, sorry. Okay, 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 okay. All right, all right. We are supposed to keep that in check. So if loading or not forecast, okay, let's see if it corrects it. It should. Okay, so I'll go back. Okay, so I didn't get exactly what I want. Let me check. So I'm going to create a new, okay, let me do this. I will copy this and then let me just do only this. So if it is loading, all right, I will say loading forecast. And if there is no forecast, I will return no forecast instead of saying loading forecast. So I will say I will return no forecast. Okay, so let's go and see. Let's reload again. Okay. Maybe I should style this a bit. I should style this a bit. Class name to be test black, since the background is white. But okay, you can see that, you can see. Look at it. We got that loading. We got it loading. Look at it, loading forecast. You see, we got it. Okay, so let me expand this so that you can see. This is what we have. If I reload it now, you can see loading forecast. All right, immediately it has come. So, and this is the line chart. If I take my mouse over, you can see this is the current balance. All right, 69, blah, blah, blah. This is next month predicted balance, and this is 2 months predicted balance. So, like I said, it is not about the a UI, a front-end developer can come and do a very good work here. We don't have that time. Okay, just manage the interface that we have. This is just okay for tutorial, but in case where you're working, they want you to do um, more beautiful UI, that's fine. Okay, so everything's working fine. We have our financial forecast, and we also have a chart data for it. And then if I also go to insights, maybe we could even bring this inside data on the dashboard. We could actually do that. Okay, but the thing is that everything is working. So it's now maybe as a UI designer. So this is the predicted spending. This is the 11. We had predicted spending. We are predicting that the user will be spending this. But on the dashboard now we have financial forecast. Okay, so this is pretty much it. Congratulations, your fintech app can now predict the future. All right. So I want you to comment the 12 done. If your code is working perfectly, comment the 12 done. And then comment exactly, share this video, share the video, like the video if you like it. And most especially, if you do not understand all this code that I'm writing here and you're not in the mentorship program, you should enroll. If you're interested in the mentorship program would help you become job ready in 6 months. All right, it's a 6 months program, and if you finish this mentorship program, you'll be building 3 applications like this. One of them is this fintech app, another one is WhatsApp clone, and the next one is real estate and ecosystem. If you have such portfolio projects in your portfolio, employers will look for you. Okay, if you have not enrolled, drop in the comment section and then drop your WhatsApp number and I will contact you. And tomorrow we will build fraud detection setup. So our application is going to be detecting if there is a fraudulent transaction. So our AI will detect if maybe somebody hacked our app or hacked our account and they are trying to do some fraudulent things. So our AI can detect it. So we'll be doing that and we'll be using socket.io to communicate between the user and the system. So watch out for day 13 and I will see you there. Thank you very much and I'll see you in day 13.